and couldn't resist spending some time with his baby. Sadly, Oliver developed a second episode of meningitis, and again he was incredibly ill. But, amazingly, against all the odds, and many months of hospital treatment, Oliver's strength and determination shone through, and he survived once again. And as always, with that beautiful, heartwarming smile that everybody seemed to be drawn to. Oliver was left with mild cerebral palsy, mild focal partial seizures, and later on a diagnosis of mild autism. However, Oliver's disabilities didn't hold him back, and he had a can-do attitude, and he amazed everybody with his achievements. He played for the South West and North West Centre of Excellence Cerebral Palsy England development football squads. He was a registered athlete with the power of 10, and he was actually ranked 3rd best in the country for 200 metres running athletics. Oliver was a member of Team Bath, and actually he was being trained to potentially become a Paralympian. Oliver was a natural leader and became a school prefect. He attained several GCSE examinations and BTECs. He went on to attend National Star College in Cheltenham, and their opinion of Oliver was very complimentary, writing how friendly and kind he was, supporting students who were less able than himself, his wicked sense of humour, and the aspirations that they had for him was to start a ski course at a local centre within the community. Oliver brought so much happiness and fun to our lives. He always saw the best in everything and everyone, and he taught all of us how to look at things differently. Oliver never failed to light up a room with the sound of his laughter. He wanted to make everybody happy, and he did his best to achieve that. Despite his limitations, he never complained or asked, "Why me?" He accepted everything, and always with a smile. His courage and enthusiasm was inspirational. We were told by a neurologist that Oliver had a full life expectancy, and he would live an independent life with a small amount of support. Sadly, in October 2015, Oliver was admitted to the Children's Hospital, having what we, his parents and school staff, recognised as simple partial seizures. And these caused Oliver to be agitated and confused. However, after several weeks of tests and treatments, Oliver was discharged home, and for the first time in his life given an antidepressant medication, we were told to help his anxiety. We were surprised and shocked because Oliver wasn't depressed. Once this medication was increased, it caused a change to Oliver's mood and increased his seizures greatly. And he was admitted again back to the same hospital in December 2015. However, this time he was given antipsychotic medications. The doctors were misunderstanding Oliver's autistic behaviours to be an ictal psychosis. His normal autistic obsessions, they were labelling as delusional behaviours. The agitation, they thought was part of a psychosis. The effect on Oliver was catastrophic. Oliver's seizures threshold and agitation deteriorated, and he eventually was held against his will under the Mental Health Act. We challenged this on numerous occasions, stating we felt it was the drugs that were causing the changes to Oliver's mood and seizures. A psychiatric bed could not be found, and eventually the doctors agreed to withdraw the antipsychotic medications. Within days, Oliver's mood returned back to normal, and he was discharged back home into our care. A community psychiatrist wrote Oliver was sensitive to antipsychotic and benzodiazepine medications. Sadly, in April 2015, Oliver was readmitted back to the same hospital, again having seizures, and again he was agitated. Sadly, Oliver was again given antipsychotic medications, one or more of which caused a serious side effect that affected his eyes, which were rolling up into his head. That was oculogenic crisis. Sadly, he was left like that for around about 7 hours because the doctors at first believed it was behavioural. Oliver's Again, Oliver's mood changed significantly. He was hallucinating. He was having up to 30 seizures a day, which normally he would only have one a fortnight. We'd never seen this happen before. He had problems urinating, extreme high blood pressure readings, he was sweating, and all of this was probably linked to the medications. We strongly believe the drugs were the cause of the decline in Oliver's mood difficulties. It was obvious that doctors and nurses had little to no understanding of autism and how autistic behaviours could present in a person with ongoing seizure activity. When in seizure, Oliver was always fully conscious, and because he had no control of the seizures, they caused him to be frustrated and scared. At my request, Oliver was transferred to a specialist adult hospital who I thought would have better understanding of Oliver's epilepsy. Oliver was provided with a letter stating the reactions he had to previous medications. Sadly, the use of physical restraint was increased, with up to 8 staff being involved at a time. Oliver was suddenly not allowed any privacy with his personal care. He had 3 staff sat around his bed, and he was kept in a darkened room. Oliver was very frightened, and he told me just how scared the staff was making him feel. Oliver was again given different antipsychotic medication, and subsequently he was again held against his will under the Mental Health Act. He was sent to a specialist mental health ward. However, the different approach from skilled staff allowed Oliver to improve within days, and the words the staff used, including doctors from the unit, were that Oliver was not psychotic or mentally ill, and his placement there was a total misuse of the Mental Health Act. They reduced all antipsychotic medications, and Oliver was discharged after a few days into the care of a specialist learning disability team, again with a letter saying he was sensitive to medications. The team were very supportive and specialised in people with autism and learning difficulties. A consultant psychiatrist in learning disability wrote that Oliver was not psychotic, nor was he mentally ill. He believed Oliver's behaviours were a result of autism and learning difficulties and an environment that was not adapted to meet his needs. Sadly, in October 16, Oliver had a cluster of seizures and was admitted to a different general hospital. We gave the doctors files of supporting letters stating Oliver's reaction to antipsychotic medications, and this was subsequently written in bold red ink in Oliver's medical care sheets. He was intolerant to all antipsychotic medications. Oliver was intubated, and later he developed pneumonia. The safeguarding officer was consulted on how to manage Oliver's anxiety when sedation was reduced. His advice to the doctors was a non-pharmaceutical approach and to use soft handcuffs, and we were told it was vital that we should be there for when he awoke, so that we would be there to reassure and comfort him. Sadly, this advice was not listened to, and sedation was reduced without our presence, and according to the staff, Oliver, rightly so, became agitated. He, without a doubt, would have been scared, waking up finding tubes down his throat, in unfamiliar surroundings, crowded with unfamiliar faces. We were consulted by a neuropsychiatrist who had met Oliver for just 2 10-minute appointments in the community. She asked us about giving Oliver an antipsychotic, and we made it very clear about Oliver's previous reactions to this type of medication, and she did not have our permission to administer antipsychotic medications. Oliver himself, when he was in the ambulance, and when he was in A&E, had said, "Please do not give me antipsychotic medications. They make my eyes go up and my brain feel funny." And he was told he would be listened to at every step of the way. Sadly, despite this, Oliver was given antipsychotic medication that evening. And we again made it clear to the doctors and nurses that they did not have our or Oliver's permission to do so. Oliver, over the next few days, developed a temperature of 42 degrees. Because doctors said his liver function was elevated, he was not given any medication to control that temperature. other than a blow-up mattress that blows around cold air, something you might find on a beach that looks like a lilo. And this was absolutely not effective. Doctors could not understand the decline in Oliver's condition, as his pneumonia was improving. They sent him for a scan of his liver and lungs. However, it was several more days before they scanned his brain. It was so badly swollen, it was bulging at the base of his skull. The neurosurgeons and emergency doctors suspected neuroleptic malignant syndrome, a rare but serious side effect of the antipsychotic he'd been administered. A week later, the decision was made to turn Oliver's life support machine off, and Oliver passed away several days later on the 11th of November 2016, Armistice Day. Quite poignant, given that we are a military family. His life was wasted due to the NHS not communicating effectively with all practitioners who knew him well, and they were in daily contact with him, with us, the hospital, and actually made several visits to see Oliver. We believe the doctors were arrogant and ignorant, and believed they knew Oliver better than his parents. They did not consult wider when there was ample opportunity to do so. We have since been told by the doctor who administered the antipsychotic drug that she would have given it regardless of our wishes, as she believed it was in Oliver's best interests. And she would do the same thing again, given the same situation, knowing that Oliver has lost his life. We understand that many people receive the medications that Oliver was given, often for managing a mental health condition, and do so without suffering the effects that Oliver had. In Oliver's case, we had clear understanding that he was sensitive to these medications, and we believe, without doubt, that they absolutely should not have been prescribed. We believe that Oliver's death was very preventable. We believe that Oliver was given excessive drugs due to medical staff not understanding autism impacted by seizure activity. They did not try to adapt the environment to meet his need, but used excessive restraint methods. They failed to make any communication with community-based professionals who were working with Oliver on a daily basis and knew him very well. If the guidelines and principles from STOMP project had been followed with healthcare professionals being able to listen to family and specialist colleagues, then we firmly believe that Oliver would still be here today. We believe that Oliver's premature death should be in the public's interest. And today, as the first group of specialist healthcare providers commit publicly to STOMP, I and my family challenge you to this. We ask people with a learning disability, autism or both, their families and carers, for their opinion and their concerns around that person's treatment. Listen to all involved and show respect to those opinions and concerns. Do something about it and work in partnership with us. Specifically, as people who provide specialist care in learning disability and autism, put people at the heart of all decision making. Respect our point of view. Do not make decisions without us. Enable us to understand complex decisions in a way that is relevant to all and provide information and explanation. Liaise with healthcare colleagues in general hospitals to raise awareness and understanding of learning disability, autism, and the principles of STOMP. Finally, do everything in your power to prevent a story like Oliver's, and from Oliver's death having to be retold again. Thank you.